CTA caretaking officer, and I'm sure most of you guys know me. Maybe we haven't met, but I'm sure you must be excited to finally put a face to the name. I know most people ask me, can we see you? Can we see you? So here I am, and I'm happy. So I am co-hosting with Elelwane Mtero, and then we have our lovely guest, Ele. It's not every day when you get to co-host and have a host with the same name, but I'm so excited about this. And yes, hi Elelwane, how are you?
I'm good, Zelia. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's your week been?
It's been a bit hectic, but yeah, thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, I can relate on that one. I can relate. I'm so happy it's Friday and it's getting warmer now.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Okay, so how we're going to run this session is that we're going to start now, and then after 30 minutes, we'll take questions. So Elelwane, the other Elelwane is going to take over from there.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Sorry guys. Zelia, I'm just final check. You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Hey,
can
Ele.
hear you.
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
And you can hear me now.
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, great. And I also got confirmation from our audience that they can hear us. Sorry about that, but yes, like Zelia has already briefed us that how the session is gonna run is that indeed that now is just an introduction. I'm just excited to have Ererwani here. She's one of the people who I look up to. I know she always says wow, but she's one of the people I look up to. And people are one of the people who's so inspirational in this accounting journey. I think that all of us will really be learn something and be inspired by Jenny, but not only a Jenny as becoming a chartered accountant, and also what she's been doing after she's qualified and the impact she continues to do to the upcoming people in the profession. But not only that, I'm also joined by Zelia. Zelia Banda is one of our caretaking officer. She's one of the vital people in Endunamo. If you do CTA and you don't know Zelia, I'll then say that clearly there is something not working out on that. So we pride ourselves with having her in the team as one of the women who takes care of our candidates, who checks up to make sure that all is in order, they're still well. If they need to talk on from some of the things which maybe from the management team or the lecturing team are not doing well, the candidate knows that with Zelia is the good go-to person. She's always there to listen to them. But I'm sure that as we continue on the session, you'll also get to get to know Ererwani more, but and also just a bit of those who don't know Zelia now, they'll also get to know her. So like Zelia said, how the structure is gonna work for the session is that Zelia is just gonna be posing some of the questions to Ererwani for us to just get to know her. But then guys, please keep the chat session on our WhatsApp groups, ask questions, and then towards the end, I will take up those questions and I will just have a conversation with Ererwani. Like I always say, this is a conversation. Let's keep those questions, compliments coming through to just also to encourage each other. Over to you, Zelia.
Thank you, Elelwane. Thank you. It's so good co-hosting with you. I always say Elelwane is my go-to person at Endunamo, so this is an honor. So I'm going to now chat to Elelwane. Yes. So I'll just take it from here. So hi, Ele.
Hi, Zelia.
Yes, I'm so happy to see you again.
Me too.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sure getting to know you during the course of the week has been inspiring, motivating, and empowering. So I hope everyone else can relate to that at the end of the session. So we're just going to start on a light note. So Elelwane, I want you to tell me more about yourself. So who is Elelwane? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do during your spare time, and so forth?
I'm Netshisaulu. I'm married and I'm blessed with beautiful twins. So I'm a new mom. I was born and bred in Limpopo. I did my studies there in Limpopo. I studied until grade 12, and then I moved to Wits University to do my BCom. I graduate BCom from Wits University. Did my postgrad at UNISA, postgrad, which is its CTA. And yeah, after completing my degree, I went and worked in different companies for almost 10 years before I went in the journey of doing articles. I did my articles at World. And yeah, now I'm unemployed. Unfortunately, COVID has affected some of us. So my position was redundant at World. So which means I was left without a job and I'm staying at home, which I find it as a break because now I have to look after my little ones and have time with them so that they can grow. Until then, yeah, that's me. I'm passionate about developing young people through mentorship. And during my spare time, if I'm not at church, I'm reading books, I'm going for movies or shopping or yeah, just having family time or having outing with friends.
Yes. Okay, so let me just start on congratulating you on the twins. So how is life after the twins?
It's a bit it's new. I'm still adjusting, but it's more fun. It's exciting. We're taking it one
Yeah.
day at a time. Every day there's something new that you learn as a mom, as a parent. And yeah, I'm having fun with them. Sleepless night, of course, they are there, but not every day. So some days we don't, they wake up and then we have to sit and then entertain them until they go back to sleep. And some days we even forget we have babies, they sleep throughout the night and then we even have to check on them if they are still fine. But yeah, it's been fun.
Okay. So it sounds like it's been exciting most
It
times
is.
than not.
No, it
Okay.
is. It's been exciting.
Okay, and it's interesting, during these times, especially now during, COVID. So most people have been impacted negatively. So I am sorry about, you to learn about that. But I know with this qualification, once the babies are a little bit grown up, you'll be out there, and obviously the labor market will be more than willing. This CA qualification. So yeah, all the best.
Thank you so much. I think I take it as an opportunity for me to break and reflect. I think it came at a perfect timing,
Yes.
but I don't see it as a misfortune. I see it as a perfect timing that I don't have to worry about going back to the office. But I am actively in the market right now, so I'm not just taking a sit back and say that I'm not looking. So I
Okay.
am looking for new opportunities out there. There are some that have came and knock. So we don't know if God will open those doors, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Okay. No, no, the doors will open
Yeah,
sooner.
definitely, definitely.
Okay, so LL1, just to take you back, you may just to take you back, and I know the guys, it would just be good to share your story with them, right? So how did you find yourself in the accounting field? Like, what led you into studying towards becoming a CA? Has this been like a dream of yours?
So this journey began when I was in standard 6. That is grade 8. I think that's what I think it is. Back in my days, it was standard 6. So when I learned about the profession, the chartered accountant profession, and the fact that I was good with maths and I was very passionate about accounting. So one of my teachers told me about it. My accounting teacher told me about the profession, and that's where I invested more time to find out what is it all about, what do they do, what does it come with, and I fall in love with the profession. And so my journey began when I went to study at Wits after completing grade 12. It was not an easy one. Those who did BCom or who have walk through the same journey as me, they know there's those courses that will hold you hostage. And I think one of those courses for me was management accountant. All thanks to Rendani, I got to master it when I joined Endunamu to complete my CTA. So after graduating, 2009, that's when my CTA journey began. It was not an easy journey. It was just an issue of I wanted to pursue this dream. I owe it to my younger self. I owe it to myself, you know, to achieve it. But there was lack of commitment in terms of studying. It was studying without going to classes was very difficult, having done my degree where I have to attend classes every day. So it required discipline and commitment, which I didn't have at the time, but I registered nevertheless, and I continue. Unfortunately, I didn't pass. I went back again 2010, and so many things was happening. I was married, and the company I was working for, there was lots of restructuring because it was purchased by another company. You know, those can be very stressful time, and my focus was shifted from my studies, so I didn't do well. 2011, because you know the candle has to continue burning, and the desire of being a CA has been there, even though you're coming back with zeros and those not so good marks. You continue to pick up where you left off and register. So 2011, I registered. I didn't write exams, and yeah, 2012, I took a break, and I was like considering going to other career, but I remember that I wanted to be a chartered accountant. That's why I went to VET and do BCom. I need to complete what I've started. In 2013, I went back to UNISA. Luckily, I didn't have to do any CTA level 1. It was always level 2. And this time around, there were like 5 courses that one need to pass. Last time I did it was only 4. Now there's 5. So I studied, but I lagged study approach and how I should do it. So it didn't go well at all. But 2014, it was a different year. For me, it was a make it or break it type of year. And
Okay.
I was so committed. I was so motivated with these 2 sisters of mine. They're older than me. They're married. They have kids, and they were studying. So I had to push myself, and they pushed me. And unfortunately, I didn't pass. It was heartbreaking. It was painful for not passing. You know, after I thought I gave it my 120, and I was about to give up. I was like, no, I cannot continue. You know, I gave it my all. But my never give up type of attitude, my resilient attitude wouldn't let me give up. So I had to do again. I had to go 2015. And this time around, I had to change. I had to have another plan so that I can pass. And I was retrenched. So it's not the first time that I'm getting retrenched. I think the retrenchment loves me. So I was retrenched. I was just working not every day. So I was still consulting at the company. So I had time, and I was like, you know what, I need to study more. This time around, I really needed the CTA. Thank God for Chuka, they sponsored me, so I didn't have to worry about the fees. And I've learned about Endunamu through a friend of mine who did the board course with them. And I was like, let me give them a chance, you know, maybe things will work out. Let me go attend classes with them. And when I went to Endunamu, they gave me so much hope, so much confidence. And, you know, they helped a lot. I got to understand how to study MENEC for exams, how to understand it so that I can pass. And, you know, I do enjoy MENEC now after those classes I got from Rendani. And auditing, I got to fall in love with auditing, which I really didn't enjoy it. And yeah, it was my breakthrough year. I made it. I passed my CTA, all thanks to the help I got from Endunamu. And yeah, and I had a different approach this time around. I had to strike balance in all the 5 courses to make sure that I passed them throughout the year, not just maybe pass 2, which I did in 2014, and the 3 when I was not doing, the other 2 I was not doing so well. So yeah, that's my story. And I think what kept me going in this career was I owe it to my younger self, that grade 8 that had so much passion, so much ambition to become a chartered accountant, and I couldn't disappoint her. I had to go on. And the fact that I wanted to inspire others to never give up, no matter how hard it is, to continue pushing. And yeah, you never know your break when you're about to give up. That's where your breakthrough is. So I think that's why I had to continue with the journey. And now I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I can put CASA next to my name.
Yes, no, exactly. You can, and that's something that I mean, it's not something that we see every day. So yes, congrats to you, Ele.
Thank you so much.
Such a great achievement. So seeing now that you are qualified, you are a CA, and most of our candidates across all our programs are aiming towards that designation. So for you, what does the CSA brand mean to you, and what doors has it opened for you?
This brand means a lot to me. It means accountability. It means whatever I do, now I need to think, I need to be ethical, I need to be with high integrity. So it means that I cannot just enter in any contract without really thinking of the impact it may bring to the reputation of the profession and myself. I need to hold myself with high standards. And I mean, it's a dream come true to any person or those who aspire to be CA, to end up being having this membership. It doesn't come easy, because if it did, everyone would have been a CA. Those that we study with, our friends and our colleagues that we work with, some of them, they inspire to be CAs, to show that when you become one, you cannot just take it for granted. And in terms of doors, I think it opens so many doors. I'm still new in the profession because I qualified 2018. However, after qualifying, I didn't struggle to get any new opportunities. And it also opened a door for me, even though it was for short times of space, for me to live up to my passion of developing other young upcoming CA. I don't think if I was not a CA, they would have given me the role of being young talent specialist at World and to be their training officer and lead the CA program. So that is the door that I wanted it to open, and it did open. So that shows that there's so many doors that is still gonna open for me that I am knocking on. And yeah, so there's a lot. When I look up to those that are before me or my role model that are qualified CA, it opens so many doors to them. Some are directors of big companies, some chairmen of different institutions. So I believe there's a lot of doors. It has already opened doors, and I know it's going to open more doors for me.
Okay, and I think that's something that I like. And I think throughout the week, it has been standing out for me. Your passion to help other people and just empower others. So you are there sitting, you are qualified, and then you're saying that, okay, let me empower the next person. And I think that's very nice.
Thank you so much, Zelia.
Yes. So Ellen, now you touched on your journey with Endunamo, right? So I just wanted to ask, like your journey with Endunamo, what kind of value do you think it added to your personal growth and your career growth?
Like I've said, when on my intro there, when I was speaking about my journey, Endunamo did so much for me. It gave me hope. It gave me confidence, to go and pass CTA. But it also helped me also on the ITC board exam and the APC. So the technical knowledge that I got from Endunamo, the support, their availability, during my time while I was doing my CTA and ICT. It helps a lot because I got depth of the technical knowledge. Like I've said, auditing was not one of the courses that I was good at, you know, and even MENEC, it was not an easy course for me. But I managed to pass those courses during my CTA time. And the technical knowledge that I got and the exam techniques that I've gained through attending their classes and assessment and feedback classes and consulting, they really came handy when I wrote my APC, because all my board courses, I passed them on a first attempt. So I didn't struggle with my board, to show that the foundation that I got with them, it really did add so much value in me going forward in my career or in passing my board exams.
Okay, and it's good. You know, after coming from an area where you struggled with CTA and then go to ITC and FEC and you just passed on this attempt. That is great. So Elia, we have exams coming up for CTA and ITC, right? So I think the guys are getting a little bit nervous. They are fast approaching. I can't believe next week is September, right? So for you, what are some of the elements that you believe are key to success before exams and during exams?
I still remember this time of the year. It feels like I'm also going to sit for CTA exams or APC. You know, it's still there, it's still fresh, and I think when you prepare for those exams, you need to make lots of sacrifice in order to make it. You know, you need to be selfish with your time in order for you to prepare for exam. Friends and family, you will see them after exam, and you need to mentally prepare for those exams. They are very taxing, to be honest with you. Mentally, you go and write and come back crying and feel like, I think I didn't write any what I was asked for. So you need to be mentally and psychologically and spiritually fit to prepare for exam. And you need to work on your exam techniques. And you have to plan. You need to have a proper study timetable. You need to know when you are at your peak. Are you at your peak in the morning, or are you at your peak in the evening? You know, if in the morning, well, everybody's sleeping, that's your peak time, then you need to study. But you need to also prepare under exam setup. So don't study at night and early morning. You're not going to be writing at those times. You're going to be writing at 8 until 5. So that discipline, you also need to install it so that your mind start to be prepared to be in that exam type of environment. So attending classes, if there's any revision, or I don't know what are those classes called, support classes or whatever. I forgot what are they called. You need to attend them. Your exam technique needs to be at par. And I know Edu Namu, they are good at that. So they will definitely give those good exam techniques for you. Consulting, if you don't know a topic, don't think you will know it when you sit for exam. Go and consult. I think your lectures are available. So for me, that worked. I consulted for the topics that I didn't understand. I asked my study buddies or partners if they don't know. I went and asked the lectures at Endunamu to help, so that I'm confident in that topic. And self-confidence is very key. When you sit in those exams, if you believe in yourself that you are going to make it, you will make it. But you need to, preparation is key. So prepare, and yeah, and pray, or whatever you believe in. I believe in God. I'm a Christian, so I prayed a lot, and I still do pray. So you must pray. So you must just have a balanced life. Hey, you must also eat healthy. If you're not well, go and consult. Go and consult with the doctor. don't go and buy all those vitamins that people will tell you they work. Go and see your doctor. Tell your GP, I'm going to be sitting for exam. I'm nervous. I'm not coping. You know, they will help you. I just went to have a checkup with my GP. She has worked with me in this journey. She knows me when I used to go to a room and say I'm not well, and she'll ask why. I'm like, I'm stressed out. I'm writing exams soon. And she helped. Sometimes just talking to someone who's professional, even though she didn't even prescribe anything for me, she just told me, okay, I think you need to rest, you need to sleep. That also helps. So if you're paying for medical aid, use it. And yeah, I think that's advice I can give.
Okay, so to just sum it up, you're saying that it's good to have a study plan, consult when you need to, and it's also important to know yourself and self-care. I think that's something that, we don't speak about a lot. You try to push the whole day, not knowing that you are putting strain on yourself. And then the last thing you want is to burn out before exams. No, I think that was great. Okay, it's been a pleasure talking. I'm just going to hand over to Elelwane now.
It was a pleasure, Zelia. You are mute.
Okay, Elelwane Tero. So she just help us with the patients that are coming in through the WhatsApp groups.
I think she's mute on her side. We couldn't hear her.
Okay, let me see if I can start. Okay, so the first question I have here is going to try and see. Okay, so how many hours? So this question is coming from Shilongi, right? So she's saying, how many hours did you dedicate to studying in a day in preparation for ITC?
In preparation for ITC, that was straight after CTA. So in January, I was not working. And I know some of you probably, if you're writing in Jan, you're not working. So I think the whole day, hey, I would sleep. Yes, I'll try to sleep 8 hours so that I can boost my energy. But if I'm not sleeping or taking a walk or eating, I was sitting and studying. So I cannot really roughly say it was 8 hours. Like I've said, you need to know how far you can stretch yourself, but you really need to push yourself harder. So I dedicated a week to study, and then the other week it was for, after I attended the classes, it was for doing exam papers, previous exam papers. So I will sit the whole day as if I'm writing an exam. Like if my exam was 8 to 5, I'll be doing that 8 to 5 that I did a week before I write my exam. So before exam, I will study throughout the day, only gave myself break in between when I'm eating, when I'm cooking or sleeping, but most of my day I was studying.
Okay. And then I have another question. So it says, can you advise some of us who are struggling with obtaining a good study approach?
Like I said, you need to know yourself, right? What are you good at? But what worked for me, technical knowledge, you have it, until you test it on previous papers and see that you really didn't understand what the question was asking, then you probably still need to go back. So what I did mostly these few weeks, if exams were starting in October, that will be for CTA. What I did was take the papers that we wrote throughout the year, all the tests that we wrote, then I do them first, and And I thoroughly, if I wrote those tests for an hour, I'll spend an hour to mark myself, like thoroughly, not the aha moment. I think most of those who did CTA, they will understand when I say the aha moment, what I mean. When you're marking yourself, you're like, oh, okay, all right. No, I went as far as taking a textbook and restudy whatever the technical topic that I didn't get right. And then I knew that, okay, all the topics that we covered throughout the year that were tested, I'm comfortable with them. Now I went to the past exam papers and I do them. If it means I have to spend an hour in the question, I'll spend an hour. If I spend an hour doing a question, I must also spend an hour marking myself. Yeah, it's a lot. Sometimes you just do one question the whole day, but I use those questions as a reflecting. I'll mark myself if I find that there's a question that I didn't get at all. I'll go back to technical knowledge and study. If I still don't get the topic, I consult to say, this is the question I was doing, I don't get it. And then maybe get someone to give you a different view on the question. It may be your lectures or your study buddy.
Okay. Okay, I see LA is back, so she'll just carry on.
Yes, I think, thank you, Zelia. And I think one of the things which you kept on also saying, Ere, was to say that one needs to also get a balance. And balance is not only, for example, like you're saying, that it's both balanced studying. In terms of studying, you need to go through your theory, you need to do assessments, and you need to also refer back to get assistance from your lecturing team once you have went through that process. And I just wanted to highlight that as one of the good points which you've raised. But I think one of the questions also when you were going through some of the questions with Celia, you noted that you were inspired by your teacher when you were inspired by your teacher to do the CA profession, but also when you were about to give up, you were also inspired by one of the recruitment agency from your side. So my question would be, what do you believe is the role of those kind of people in the profession? Both from even not the people who are as someone who's starting the journey, and also as someone who would have already qualified.
Well, I think, we shouldn't underestimate. I think everybody has a role to play in this journey. You may be a parent. My parents also encouraged me. It was said that they will always ask, so how did the exam go? Did you pass? And I'm like, no. I'm like, when are you passing? When are you finishing? So that is also the role that they play, to keep me on my toes, to say, when are you passing? When are you completing? And my partner encouraging me to study, he also played a role. And I mean, everyone has a role to play in supporting those who are in the journey of becoming chartered accountant. You may be a teacher in a high school, or you may be a pastor at church, or you may be a sister. I think we have a role to play. After qualifying, the role is big. For us, we need to pave the way for those who are coming behind us to also pass. It was not easy for some of us. That's why I took up the role of being a young talent specialist at Ballowall, because during my time doing articles, remember the journey doesn't end when you get your CTA. You need to do articles, and then you need to complete, you need to write board exam, and you need so much support. For some of us, it was not easy. And for me to be part of that role player, so that I can make life easy for someone, giving them support. Sometimes it's just a checkup call to say, how you doing? That is a support that you can give to someone who's studying. It can get lonely, mostly when you are in this profession or studying towards becoming a CA. It is. You're going to lose friends, because now books will become your friends. So you need a strong support system. It may be your friend, it may be at home, or someone who passed before you, just to hold your hands and to monitor you and to support you. And for us who are qualified CA, we need to play a bigger role. We must not do the reverse mentality of, oh, it was so difficult for me, so you must also go through the difficulties. No, we must support others and make it a bit easier for them, even if it means just buying somebody exam, what do we call it, snacks. Yeah, just buying them exam preparation snacks, you know, and just go and deliver it with some motivational notes. It's very important. I have some young mentees that I'm mentoring that are in this journey of becoming CA. And for me, just to be there for them, just to check up on them, just to buy them some study snacks, it means a lot to them, you know. And when they pass, I also pass, because I know that there's another area coming up. There's another Black female CA or Black CA who's coming behind me.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I think, like you're saying, it's really a challenge, not only to you and I, but it's also a challenge for even the people who are also here on this platform, that you who are with us, once you qualify, you need to also play that support role to the next people, the same way as you have others who are playing that support role. But one of the questions which has been coming over through and through is that then how do you balance that the process of studying? It gets to be so much exhausting, and sometimes it gets to be too much from your emotional, your mental. Then how do you, when you are that exhausted, when you're mentally exhausted, how then do you rejuvenate? How then do you how do you come back from that?
Like I've said, you know, you need to feed your soul also, so that you keep your mind fit. You will get burnout even after becoming a CA. You know, when you are working, where you are a mom or whatever role you're gonna play, you need to you will burn out, but you need to have a source of strength. You know, this week I was attending some session, and this lady says, as much as when your battery, your phone dies, like the battery dies, what do? You need to charge it. So even you, while you're studying, your battery will die. Definitely. It may even die 2 weeks or a week before. So you need to be starting. That's why I said a proper planning and a proper balance and self awareness. It's key. If you know yourself that, okay, when I'm down, what do you pick up yourself? If it means buying a bar of a chocolate and you eat and you feel better, it's fine. You'll deal with the weight gain later, as long as it doesn't become addictive. If it means, so I don't know if you can see behind me, there's books. I'm a reader, so for me to, when I want to pick myself up, I'll go to a bookstore and go and buy a new book. You know, even if it means I'll just read the first chapter and feel so good about being inspired in that book, it's fine. And you can go running. That's why you need to keep fit, like spiritually, mentally, and physically. So you need to study, you need to exercise also, you need to eat healthy, and just take time out. Don't feel guilty when you're going to have those days where you shut down. You don't study on that day, and then you go out and watch a movie. But make sure that you're not going to feel guilty about it. You know, sometimes you go and when you are in the movie, you're thinking, oh my God, I should be studying now. Oh, my friends are studying. No. If you say today it's a shutdown. I used to use my Sunday as a shutdown. You know, as Christian, I'll go to church, I feel good, and then come back all relaxed and connected with other fellow Christian, and I'll just sleep or watch whatever idols and whatever, just, and then I have my power nap on the day. I know that in the evening or at 10 or at 12, I'll wake up and study. But don't feel guilty. So you need to give yourself permission to shut down, even if it's just for 2 hours or for a day, and relax. If you enjoy going to the parks, do that, hiking, do that, but don't feel guilty about it. You are allowed to do those things.
Wow. Thank you so much, Erani, for that. And I think I'll just to also summarize, and if anyone still has any question, we still have 2 more minutes. You can still keep those coming. But I think just to summarize what you're saying, at the end of the day, find balance. Because once you have a balance, and also when I think one of the candidates once here to say that once you when you commit time to a certain aspects of your life, don't feel guilty for now connecting spiritually. Don't feel guilty for now studying. But that also goes to back so that when you're studying again, do not tap out and now want to be doing the social stuff you're not supposed to be doing. When you find time to do something, you need to fix yourself into that and be fully involved in that. And I think that's one of the message which keeps on coming in and out throughout this conversation, to say that find time to try to make sure that you balance throughout what you need to have, so that you also have that balanced life, so that you don't get exhausted throughout the process. So for me, that's something which has come out throughout, and I think that's something which all of us can take, even just through the studying and also on just our professional life. Any other guide which you could give to our candidates? We have our CTA candidates who are going for their prep exams before the UNISA exam, just on the closing. And we also have also the ITC candidates who are going to be writing assessments. So just on quick overview, what will that be? What would be your advice?
Use those assessment as self-assessment. Don't just go and sit just because they are part of your program. You know, you must go prepared to say, okay, I'm going to write. I think those assessments really did help me a lot, because I'll go and use them as a reflection to say, where do I still need to improve in? Is it time management? Is it exam technique? Is it technical knowledge? So you need to use those assessments as a preparation for exam. Don't just go and write because they are happening and that's it. Use them as a reflection, and so that afterwards you're gonna plan and say, okay, I think I still lack in terms of time management. I still lack in terms of technical skills in terms of how I should approach a question. Let me work on it. Am I ready technically? I mean, it's been almost a year where you were attending classes and studying. So where are you technically? Are you still below 60, 80%, where you can say you are comfortable if they bring any question that need you to do a deferred text, you're gonna kill it. So okay. you know all the basics of a certain topic. So I think that's my advice to those who will be sitting for those pre-assessment. So they must just apply their mind, you must give it 100%, you know, right until the end. Don't just say, this question, I'm not gonna write it anyways, just assessment. Use them as if they are your last test or assessment to qualify to sit for exam.
Okay, thank you, Erani. We actually have gone about by 2 minutes or so, but just one last one. If I was to give you a test in 30 seconds, what message do you have out there for women, as it is Women's Month, or maybe for just to motivate others, women to work hard, and also just to support each other and support everyone surrounding them? Any message, 30 seconds, and then that will be it from us.
I think you know what, there's lots of opportunity for women out there. Let's stop saying it's a man's world. It's our world also. Let's go knock on those doors. Let's open doors for one another and hold those doors for those behind us that are coming, and let's pave way for those that are still fragile, that need our support, that are either going through exam, that are going through lots. Let's support one another. And yeah, I think as a Black woman, I shouldn't feel threatened by another Black woman who's doing very well in their space. I should be encouraged and motivated, you know, to look up to them and say, that is my sister. She can do it. She's rocking. And
Yeah.
you also have your own space. Stay in your lane. And yeah, all will work out also for you.
Okay, thank you so much to everyone. Sorry for going through by 3 minutes, but like you can see, we can still talk throughout the night. Like, wow, I think we should extend these sessions to be an hour. I think I will talk to management. 45 minutes is just not enough. I'm inspired, and I hope that everyone else is also inspired. Thank you, Erani, for taking the time. Thank you, Zelia, for letting me come squeeze myself in to host the session with. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I hope that you're as inspired as I was. And good luck and good night.
Thank you so much. Cheers, everyone.